Good morning. Thanks for joining the Kehillat Shari Torah Halacha review for Thursday, February 25th. Remember that today is Tainus Esther, the fast of Esther. We'll be reading the Megillah tonight at approximately 6:45 p.m. There should be a Zoom link in your email. We'll have a quick L'chaim online, which won't have any L'chaim because it is a fast day. So that'll be at 5 o'clock, and we'll remind you to tune in at 6:45 right after right after evening arrives, after the onset of nightfall. That's the word I'm looking for Megillah reading. Now, for those who would like to give the half shekel, we gave some advice yesterday to give 2 loonies and have in mind for the first 1.5 loonies that's the 3 half shekels that we're supposed to give, and for the other 50, the remaining 50 cents, the other half dollar, that's going to go to tzedakah. So that's how we're going to do half shekel this year. Okay, we should also mention about following along with the Megillah. The idea is to, since we're not going to get together and you won't hear it read from the scroll, you'll hear it over Zoom, which is actually not the same thing as hearing it in person. You should have if you have a chumash or a text of the Megillah that you're able to follow along and read that for yourself while you're listening to the Megillah, that's ideal. Certainly hearing it and following along is better than not hearing it at all, as a zecher to the mitzvah of reading the Megillah. Okay, so let's use our time wisely and talk a little bit about Erev Pesach, about Erev Pesach on Shabbos. For this Shabbos, for the Shabbos of coming up a month from now, when Shabbat is Erev Pesach, and we are supposed to celebrate Shabbat in its fullest sense, enjoying the meals thereof, but we're not allowed to eat matzah. We're really not supposed to be eating too much challah by this point either, because the last time at which we can consume leavened products on Erev Pesach is going to be at the latest 11:18 on Shabbat morning. Some say 10:54, but 11:18 is, according to the Balatanya and the Vilna Gaon, the last time for eating chametz in Toronto. The advice that we're going to follow this year is that your meals, your Shabbat meals, should probably be all Pesach dik. In other words, you can use certainly paper plates, or you can use the nice holiday dishes if you like. But everything in the house should be more or less Pesach dik, and then we have a little bit of a best practice, let's call it, that we're going to use to make sure that we're able to both eat a nice meal and also to fulfill the idea of making it a proper meal and making hamotzi, as is our mitzvah to do on Shabbos. And that is as follows. Before Shabbos, we will buy some very small challahs. They should each be, smaller than the size, not the big, puffy bulka rolls, but the smallest ones you can get, sort of catering challahs, maybe they're called. I'm not sure exactly how you call them, but smaller challahs that are about 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces in weight, not too big, and that you feel comfortable you'll be able to eat. If that's not possible, so use pitas. Use pita because they don't make a lot of crumbs. And we'll do this. The table will be set, and you'll put some kind of a plastic covering over the part where you're sitting, an additional plastic cover that you can shake out the crumbs down the toilet or down the sink, and get rid of that. Put that with the chametz that's being sold out in the garage or the closet, wherever that happens to be. So you'll make kiddush and for Friday night and Shabbos day both, and then you'll wash your hands and you'll eat a kazai, you'll eat a kabeya actually, of bread, about 2 ounces, 2.25 ounces or so, and that will be your bread for the meal. After you're done eating the bread, you'll make hamotzi and eat that all at one time, not in one mouthful, but in a 2 or 3 minute period. And then you will finish that, you'll rinse your mouth, you'll go wash your hands, make sure there's no crumbs, anything of chametz left on your hands, and when everything's clean, then you come back and eat your whole meal, which is going to be Pesach dik food, but it'll be part of your Shabbos meal on Erev Pesach. That's how we're going to negotiate this fine gray area between Shabbos and Pesach, Shabbos Erev Pesach and Pesach itself. We're not supposed to eat when we are not supposed to eat chametz after, what do we say, 10, 11, 18 in the morning, and we're not supposed to have matzah either, because Erev Pesach we don't eat matzah, as we said yesterday, in order that we'll have a proper appetite for it that evening. Now, for those for whom this is too challenging, too complicated, there is a permission that's given in some circumstances to use matzah ashira, to use matzah that is made with juice, tea matzahs and so on, the ones that are they're not kosher for Pesach, so you're running the same risk that you do with challah. Or if you can get kosher Pesach ones, so use those. That is only in extenuating circumstances, though, for those who are too worried about eating a challah roll or a part of a pita, that it'll interfere with your oneg Shabbos. Okay, so once you eat Friday night and again Shabbos day, eat a little bit of bread, enough to make it a considerable meal. Then go ahead and eat whatever salad, soups, fish, chicken, whatever you would like to eat. You can do it in that way. Again, since we're supposed to finish eating any chametz by 11:18 in the morning, that's going to necessitate very early davening. Now, it's still too soon to tell what the regulations will be for davening, but we will certainly set our Shabbos davening time on that morning, on Erev Pesach, to be considerably earlier than usual. Whether we're davening at home or davening together in the shul, we'll make it a good bit earlier, so people have a chance to get home and make Kiddush and eat some chametz before 11:18 in the morning, and put away any of the chametz items, utensils, with those things to be sold. In addition to that, I had something in addition to that also. Suda Shlishit. Some people are particular to eat 3 meals on Shabbat day. So the way you do that, you ready for this, is to wash mekamotzi, eat your bread, and then say Birkat Hamazon, bench, make a little interval, a little break, either by taking a walk outside, if you like to do that, saying a few divrei Torah, something like that, and then wash again and eat some more bread, that being the third meal in a pinch. For those who are particular. If you're not particular, you can certainly have a piece of fruit or a piece of fish or even chicken later in the day, and that can suffice for your Suda Shlishit. Okay? That's a lot to put on you for one day. Happy Erev Purim. Please join us tonight for the Megillah reading, and tomorrow morning again on Zoom, if you're unable to get to a live Torah reading somewhere in town. Fortunately, we're not able to do it given our guidelines, our stay-at-home guidelines for the year, but as with everything else this past year, we are doing our best.